Attention please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.
Right now, it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at Labara, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. Labara. Stay connected.
Tier Vinzo Battleborn.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside your referees and their team of technical officials.
Well, hello and welcome back to Ponds Forge here in Sheffield for the first final session of this British Paraswimming International Meet for 2021, doubling up as part of the World Para Series. We had a great morning this morning, couple of world records, a regional record, a British record, and some good swims, posting some consideration times for Tokyo 2021 as well. This is what we've got to look forward to this evening. It will be the finals of those events from this morning. So the women's and men's multi-class 100 freestyles. Then there'll be the women's and men's 200-meter individual medleys for the classes SM5 to SM14. And then we'll wrap up with the men's 150-meter individual medley, SM1 to 4. So, fairly short, sharp program this evening. There's no break as we had this morning. It will just be 1 hour of entertainment. You have to sit and enjoy here with us as the officials make their way onto poolside. This is normally where the officials will be introduced to the crowds, but actually today they're just being introduced to the athletes and support staff. So there we have our technical delegate, Tony Ward, our men's referee, Christine Golightly, our women's referee, David Metcalf, and our starter for all events will be Jerry Metcalf. And through this session, you will see that there have been a lot of procedures put in place to ensure that the event can run as a COVID secure bubble. One of those is that we only have one starter who will take care of both sets of events for men and women. Normally, it's typical that we would see a different starter for each set of events. But again, we don't want to be sharing the microphone or adding unnecessary procedures of having to wipe it down. So to minimize risk, we will only have one starter, and Jerry Metcalf will be leading with that. So in the women's 100 meters freestyle, there will be 2 finals as part of the World Series program because of the number of athletes that took part this morning. No medals handed out at this competition. So again, it's just another opportunity for everybody to swim and post a fast time. It's not an A final and a B final, no age group finals, just a set of finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for our first event. This is the women's multi-classification 100 meters freestyle final.
So here we'll welcome the finalists for that first of the 2 World Series finals for the women's 100 meters freestyle. And here we have Leah O'Connell of Great Britain and Camden Swiss Cottage, the fly specialist. She'll be occupying lane 7. Next up, we'll have Arel Haleri in lane 6 from Israel, World Championship finalist in this event in 2013 and 2015. In lane 5, we have the S14 swimmer from Japan, SACHI Takagi. In lane 4 for Russia, the S9 athlete, Elena Klichakina.
In lane 3, representing Great Britain, Danielle Harting.
That's the lane 2 athlete. That will be Anne Nishida of Japan, looking to qualify for her home games. And there we can see in that pink hat, it is lane 3, Danielle Hartin of Basildon and Phoenix, and Great Britain, the S14 swimmer. So there you have your lineup for this first of 2 finals in this women's multi-class 100 meters freestyle. Variety of starts there. We saw the Israeli athlete in lane 6, Arel Halevi, being held on the block and getting up and into her stroke. And we can see that purple-pink hat of Danielle Hartin going very well, but it is the red costume of Sachi Takagi, the S14 swimmer, the highest classification in this first final, starting to lead the way. And as we come into that turn, it's lane 4. It's Russia's young Elena Kleczkina really looking to put down a good time here and give herself an opportunity to be considered for Tokyo. So 34.02 for the S9 athlete to turn at halfway in the lead, and you can see the spearhead developing that we weren't seeing in the heats because of the way the lanes were allocated. But here tonight, we have got the fastest seeded times in those middle lanes, and we can see this spearhead panning out as planned as Kleczkina comes into the final 5 meters for Russia to take the victory in terms of time, a 109.89. That's quicker than her entry time this morning, so another half a second off her time there. Takagi 112.02 to take second position, and Daniel Hartin 113.5. Arel Halevi there coming in with a 118.05 in fourth position, with Nishida, the Japanese athlete, 122.7, and then Leah O'Connell with 125.64. Now, it's important to note that the times are important for the athletes, but in terms of position, that will be decided depending on how close they are to their respective world record in their classification, and that's where we rely on the point results. But that is just for position. Here, like I said, no medals being awarded, not really being compared to the final that's about to come. It's all about getting the races. So we're just waiting for those results to be confirmed. And we can see that it's the S7 athlete from Israel, Arel Halevi, that gets the highest points total, 662. Why can't I work that out? There you go. And Kleczkina being rewarded there for that good swim, that controlled race, to get a good position in second. Here's the start list for the second of the 2 finals. There will be a bit of time between the races as the blocks get wiped down with anti-back, and so do the seats behind the starting block. Anything basically that an athlete might have touched has to be wiped down to make sure that the area is COVID secure before the next set of athletes come out. So there will be more of a pause between events than we are used to seeing. The athletes are waiting in the newly founded call room that's now on the side of the pool there in that top left-hand corner of your screen. Again, just another measure that's been put in place to make this event COVID secure. So the athletes are out in the open, spaced out, as you can see, not behind the wall where they would normally go. Lane 9 sees Claire Soupio of France, a European bronze medalist in this event in the S8 category, competing in the S9 category here this evening, leading out these finalists. There's our next athlete, Great Britain's Stephanie Millward, also in the S9 category. She'll be going in lane 8. She was the world champion in this event back in Montreal in 2013. Lane 7 sees Isabel Hernandez Santos of Spain, the S10 athlete, 2-time Paralympian, walking out to join this lineup. And lane 6, we've got Emeline Pierre, World Championship bronze medalist in the 100 backstroke in Mexico in 2017. She'll be representing France. Here comes Great Britain's Hannah Russell in lane 5 in the S12 category, making her way back to international competition. She'll have her sights on the qualifying time for Tokyo this evening. There we see Louise Vidders, the S14 swimmer for Great Britain, and Hatfield occupying the centre lane. His British record holder in the S9 category next up, Great Britain's Toni Shaw. She'll be in lane 3. She was less than half a second off her best time this morning, so she'll be psyched and ready to swim fast this evening. Lane 2 sees the S10 athlete from Estonia, SUSANNAH KAUL, World Championship bronze medalist in the 50 back in Mexico in 2017, so we know she's got good freestyle pedigree. And here in lane 1, it's Alice Tighe of Great Britain, swimming in the S9 category here. This evening she'll be looking to post a good time. And then in lane 0 to round out this lineup, it's Tatiana Leburn of Belgium. She swam well this morning in both of her events.
This is final number 2.
All athletes away well there, and once again these finals are seeded in a spearhead formation, so we would look to see the faster athletes in those middle lanes, and we can see that now. It is Louise Vidders and Hannah Russell in those yellow lanes in the middle who are leading this out. Hannah Russell slightly in the lead at this point, coming into the turn. This is an event that she could qualify for Tokyo 2020 in, whereas Louise Vidders is looking to put down a good time for consideration for the S1400 freestyle mixed relay. The spearhead is forming nicely. Hannah Russell trying to hold on to that lead. Louise Vidders not letting her get away. Toni Shaw going well. Just one lane up from Louise Vidders in the S9 category. And you can see now as they come into the final 5 meters, it's very, very close. Louise Vidders will get that touch, 101.09. 101.39 for Hannah Russell. In second, Toni Shaw, 103.71. SUSANNAH KAUL, 104.11. Lots of quick times this morning. Alice Tighe there, swam quicker than she did in this morning's heat. So that's a move in the right direction for her. And they are like, once again, we say it's not always the person who touches the wall first that is going to end up on the top of the pile when we look to the points scores. Louise Vidders has already posted a time to make her eligible for Tokyo 2020 prior to this race. So here she'll be just looking to get back in the water, get some good race practice and see how all that lockdown training has gone. There are our results confirmed with points. It's Hannah Russell that tops the tree with 861. Toni Shaw second with 826 points, and then Louise Vidders in that third place position, 794 points. There is the overall summary. I think we've got a queue as if it's a heat session, but I can assure you they do not have to swim again. That was the finals event for the 100 meters freestyle at this competition. But it's always nice to get another look at the times. There's just that second page, like I said. No medals here, so people were just swimming for times and their own position. And also, this is the first time that a lot of people have had the opportunity to race especially internationally, since the lockdown and pandemic began. Now we move on to the men's 100 meters freestyle World Series final. Again, there will be 2 of these, and again, the times have been allocated from slowest to fastest. So there'll be people in the second heat who, if they're in a lower category, they do have a chance to climb up that points board after the second race. But again, I can't reiterate this enough, no medals here tonight, no podiums. It's very much an event that's focused around the business element in terms of athletes being able to swim and compete and have that opportunity. But all risk, all opportunity for any unnecessary risk has been removed at this competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men 100 meters freestyle final 2.
Here come the athletes for the first final. And there we have Leo McCrae, British born, representing Switzerland thanks to his mum being Swiss. World Championship finalist in the 400 meters freestyle in London. He will be in lane 7. Next up in lane 6 is Great Britain's Mikey Jones, Paralympic champion in the 400 meters freestyle, trying his hand here at the shorter distance. Next up in lane 5, we have the S14 athlete from the city of Glasgow representing Great Britain tonight, Gavin Roberts. There we have Sergei Kanak, S10 athlete from Kazakhstan. He'll be in lane 4, and you can see there his assistant behind, again, wearing full PPE, gloves, mask, apron. That is a requirement for anybody who's on poolside who isn't an official or an athlete. There we just saw, we got a glimpse there of Mark Malia coming out for Israel in lane 3, but now we're on to Will Perry. The S6 athlete swims from Northampton, swimming for Great Britain here tonight in lane 2. And rounding out this start list, it's lane 1's Ami Omer Dadon of Israel, the S4 athlete, who will look to enter the pool from the side. He'll swim over across into position in lane 1. Again, remember, this is multi-class, so we have classifications ranging in this heat alone for this final from S4 to S14. Variety of starting techniques there, and we saw, as expected, Sergio Kanak and Gavin Roberts in lane 4 and lane 5 getting good starts. We actually don't have Kanak. He has scratched this race last minute, so he's in the start, not on the start. He's on the start list, but maybe he didn't make it to the call room. But here we see City of Glasgow's Gavin Roberts, the S14 athlete, so you would expect him to be leading at the halfway point, turning in 28.62. Mark Malia, the 400-meter freestyle world record holder in the S7 category, turning in 30.5, with Will Perry, the S6 athlete, 34.99 for him, closely followed by another S6 athlete, 34.66 for Leo McCrae. But it is Gavin Roberts here leading the way as we come in to the final 10 meters for him. Looking strong. There will be a race going on behind with Will Perry and Leo McCrae. But it's Gavin Roberts that gets the touch on time, 1 minute, 0.47. Mark Malia there for 103.03, slightly lower than he went this morning, but he wins the battle of the S7s as Michael Jones touches in 108.28. And in the battle of the S6s, Leo McCrae just managed to get the touch 1:30.38, a second or so ahead of Will Perry, 1:14.57. And then we see Ami Omer Dadoin, 1:24.5. So once again, these athletes putting in some good times. Gavin Roberts looking happy there, but we'll have to wait and see in terms of positions if the result is the same once the points are converted. And as suspected, it's the S4 athlete, Ami Omer Dadoin, that takes the victory on points with 889, slightly ahead of his compatriot, Mark Mallier, in the S7 category with 877, and then another S7 athlete, Mikey Jones of Great Britain, wrapping up those top three with his time of 1:08.28. Now we have the second final, the start list for this men's multi-class 100 freestyle World Series Final 2. That is, as you can see now, these are where the higher categories come in because we went in terms of time. So we saw the S4 athletes in the first final, and now we have S8s through to S14s. In both the men's and the women's event, the fastest seeds from the heats withdrew from the finals. So it opens it up for other people to post a good point score here. You can see everybody making sure that everything's been safely secured and disinfected before this next final come out. You can see the tape down the right-hand side. So often, normally when we come to Sheffield, we're used to a packed poolside, packed stands, but that has obviously had to change. Athletes are only permitted to be on poolside if they are about to swim. You can see that open call room there that we talked about. But similarly, coaches are not allowed onto poolside. So here we go. And it is the world and European champion in the S8 category, MICHALENTZAKIS of Greece, who will lead them out and occupy lane 9. It's a long walk out to lane 9, but it's worth it when you get there. In lane 8, we're going to have Yoha Shakanu, a world championship competitor in London in 2019 from Belarus. First of the S14 athletes for Great Britain, it's Conor Morrison, and he will take up position in lane 7. In lane 6, it's the University of Stirling's Oliver Carter, the S10 athlete representing Great Britain in this World Para Series final. And the Scots just keep on coming. It's lane 5 for Stephen Clegg, the S12 athlete of Edinburgh Uni, the British record holder in this event. Another S14 athlete, Great Britain's Jordan Catchpole. He'll be occupying lane 4. He is the fastest qualifier from this morning's heats. Another S14 athlete, it's Louis Lawler in great form this year for Great Britain. He'll go in lane 3. In lane 2, it's Torvine and Great Britain's Alex Rosser, another S14 athlete. And George KELMAN-JOHNS, the S14 athlete from Gloucester City, he will be in lane 1. And Jonathan Booth, the Rio 2016 Paralympian in the S9 category for Great Britain. He'll be rounding out this start list from lane 0.
This is final one.
Getting away well there, it was Conor Morrison, the breaststroke specialist in lane 7, but up and into the stroke. There's hardly anything in it between LAWLOR, Jordan Catchpole and Stephen Clegg as we go down this first 35 metres. You can see that spearhead developing. All of these athletes in those centre lanes have the potential to go very similar times, and it's Catchpole that turns first, 25.78, followed by S12, Stephen Clegg, 26.02, and Alex Rosser and Oliver Carter turning in exactly the same time, 26.98 at the halfway mark. Here we can see it is Stephen Clegg and Jordan Catchpole battling it out at the front of the field. And as we come into the final 5 metres, who is going to get the touch? It is Stephen Clegg by 7/100ths of a second. That is, if confirmed, a new British record for him. His old time of 54.08. He'll be happy with that. Nobody really knows how they're going to swim. That's the thing at these competitions. Everybody's had to change up their training, and Stephen Clegg won't be able to read the board. But I saw there Jordan Catchpole telling him his time. Smiles all round. And we'll just wait for those results to be confirmed. Remember that as we see those results, we can see Jordan Catchpole. He takes the victory on points. Stephen Clegg, that British record, securing him second position, joint with LAWLOR, but both on 851 points. And then the S8 world champion, MICHALENTZAKIS of Greece, rounding that top 4 out with 804 points and a 1 minute .03. Now this is just a review of the collated results to remind us what we saw in Heat 1 also. It's done on points, and then we can see Amir Dadoin, the S4 athlete, the lowest category in that final, actually topped the point score. Here we have the start list of the eagerly anticipated women's multi-class 200 meter individual medley in this World Series final. There will only be one race, so there are all of your starters. Expect an exciting race to unfold in the SM6 category. We're just waiting because, again, one of the other things that has been implemented here is that there are no people who take your box of stuff at the end when you take it off, like your tracksuit, your trainers, anything you leave. Everything that you leave now has to be put into a bag that you as the swimmer are responsible for. So you have to go back to your starting block, get it, and then go to the swim down pit. So that time has to be allowed for. But we are ready to go, and it is Ellie Simmonds in lane 8 for Great Britain, the SM6 athlete of Camden Swiss Cottage. She missed her qualifying time this morning by 1/100th of a second, so she'll be looking to get that this evening. Current Paralympic champion. Another SM6 athlete for Great Britain. She's in great form here. She swam very well this morning. She made her consideration time. Lane 7, it is Grace Harvey.
In lane 6, representing Israel, Julia.
In lane 6, we have Israel's SM9 athlete, Julia Gorichuk. She'll be looking to post a fast time tonight.
In lane 5, representing
Great Britain's Abby Kane is in lane 5. She'll be swimming in the SM13 category in that nice bright pink hat.
In lane 4, representing Belgium, Tatiana Lebrun.
A busy night for Tatiana Lebrun. She's had a busy day. She's swimming well, the young Belgian. She'll be going in the S10 category in lane 4. In lane 3, we have the birthday girl, Katie CROWHURST. She'll be swimming in the SM13 category, the athlete from Wickham District. Another busy athlete tonight is Claire Supio France. She's back in the SM9 category and she'll be swimming in lane 2. We saw the former world record holder. We now see the current world record holder in the SM6 category. It's Great Britain and Northampton's Maisie Summers-Newton. She'll be going in lane 1. And there we see in lane 0, Brock Whiston, the SM8 world champion, world record holder in this event for Great Britain. She will be rounding out that start list.
This is women's 200 meters individual medley final.
Great reaction time there from Ellie Simmons down in lane 8 at the bottom of your screen. But as expected, the higher category swimmers are in the middle lanes and you would expect them to move forward more quickly and create that spearhead. And we can see it is the pink hat of Abby Kane in the SM13 category leading at the moment. She's got a great backstroke on her, silver medalist at the Paralympic Games at the tender age of 13. So we know she's got a good, strong first 100 meters of this individual medley. And she will just get that touch for 34.82, closely followed by Julia Grodocic, 35.22, and Katie CROWHURST, the birthday girl, going very well there. In lane 3, for that yellow hat, that graphic was slightly wrong there, so it panicked me, don't let it panic you. But the two SM13 athletes are at the top of this field at the moment. The SM6 battle is going on. Grace Harvey leading that, 39.34 from 40.99 for Maisie Summers-Newton, and Ellie Simmons 43.39, exactly on what she was on this morning on that fly leg. But it is Abby Kane who leads at the halfway point in terms of time, 1:15.49 over her compatriot and fellow SM13 athlete, 17 years old today, Katie CROWHURST, having a great swim here. Tatiana Lebrun as well, going well, sticking with them. But like I said, there will be a battle of the SM6 athletes that will be slightly out of your shot, but I can see it. And at the moment, Grace Harvey still has the lead. Maisie Summers-Newton, the European record holder on the breaststroke, coming back down here. Abby Kane clearly ahead there in the SM13. Pink hat, I love that pink hat, 202.92 for her. Lebrun, the SM10 swimmer, going very well. And then Katie CROWHURST trying to hold on to her, not let her get away and get pulled along to a great time. At the moment, we see Maisie Summers-Newton just in the lead in the SM6 category, 220.32 from 220.45 Grace Harvey and 225.98 for Eleanor Simmonds. So the race is on there, but there's no doubt about who's going to take the time touch. It is Abby Kane in a 240.36. That is 7.5 seconds quicker than she swam this morning. A great swim as well there from Tatiana Lebrun. And Katie CROWHURST, for her birthday, she got herself an improved time from this morning. And there we see Maisie and Grace, 3:01.01. Grace Harvey getting the touch. Maisie getting a 3:01.36. And Eleanor Simmonds going 3:05.56. Her qualifying time, 3:05.88. So, providing those results are confirmed, she will have just got herself a place on for consideration on her 4th Paralympic team. Abby Kane there in that pink hat. She looked so strong from start to finish. It's incredible to think that she was 13 years old and 39 days in Rio when she swam to that silver medal in the 100 meters backstroke. And there we can see, as anticipated, it is those SM6 athletes who were racing on the outside that take those top 3 positions. Grace Harvey swimming a brilliant time there for her, 3:01.01 to take the victory with 938 points, just ahead of 933 from Maisie and 871 for Ellie. But as discussed, it was really for everyone all about the times there and doing the best that they could do to try and give themselves the best chance of qualification. There you can see, as we get the start sheet for the men's multi-class 200 meters individual medley. Again, there will only be one final here for this World Series final. And again, we have a range of athletes from SM7, Mark Malia, busy this evening for Israel, back in the water. And then all the way up to the SM14 athletes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the medals of classification 200 meters individual medley final.
Here come the athletes for this final of the 200 meters individual medley, and it is Mark Malia, the SM7 athlete from Israel, silver medalist in the World Championships in London. The SM14 athlete from Belgium, the breaststroke bronze medalist at Mexico World Championships in 2017 is Émeric Parmentier. Another SM14 athlete here, it's Torvine and Great Britain's Dylan Broom. He'll be in lane 6. Jordan Catchpole looks like he's just about had time to catch his breath. He is back in lane 5 in the SM14 category. Alex Portal, the fastest qualifier tonight, SM13 from France. He swam 2 seconds quicker than he did at the World Championships in London. Another Welsh SM14 athlete, it's Rhys Davis from Swansea. He'll be in lane 3. And Dundee's Jack Milne will swim for Great Britain. He'll be in lane 2 in the SM14 category. And And then to round out this start list of the men's 200 meters individual medley, it is Carlos Martinez Fernandez of Spain. He'll be swimming in the SM8 category in lane 1. And away they go. And as said, Mark Malia is in the SM7 category in lane 8. Martinez Fernandez is in the SM8 category in lane 1. And Alex Portal in that middle lane. Out in the lead, there's in the SM13 category in lane 4 for France. Everyone else is in the SM14 category. And for them, it's a straight shootout in terms of times and who gets to the wall first. But it is Alex Portal, who's clearly in great form here already on day 1. Touching first in 27.97. Jack Milne getting the best of the rest. 28.79 for him. And then it was Jordan Catchpole, fresh out of his 100 freestyle, 29.07. But Alex Portal, he's a medalist, a major medalist in the backstroke. And where we can see he's got a great breaststroke. He's looking great as he comes into 5 meters out from the halfway point, picking up where he left off from the heats this morning. 101.41 at that halfway point. Now it is Rhys Davis, the backstroker, 103.65. He put in a great leg there to overhaul Jordan Catchpole. And now we see the breaststroke, so often the decider in the 200 meter individual medley. Parmentier of Belgium got a bronze in the breaststroke in Mexico in 2017 at the World Championships. And we can see him there in lane 7 in those purple trunks. He is making gains as we go down this third 50. But there is no question here about who is in the lead. It is Alex Portal, 140.45. He's up against it in terms of points because he races the great ELEANOR of Belarus. The world record for this classification is a 2:03. So it's a lot to do. But Alex Portal is in great form. He went 2:10 this morning. And here he comes in to the final 5 meters. Everybody will be watching the clock. And it stops at 2:09.99. So another personal best time for Alex Portal. And then coming in next up, it is Rhys Davis, 2:19.25. Good swim him there. He finishes top of the tree of the S14 athletes. Martinez Fernandez there for Spain in the SM8 category, stopping the clock in 2:31.80. And Mark Malia, the SM7 athlete, finishing up for Israel in 2:37.30. But there was no doubting there. Alex Portal, he led from start to finish. As I said, he did a best time this morning and he's come back and bettered that this evening. We'll just wait on those results to be confirmed. Always a bit complex in the individual medley events, lots to check, but here we see, and it is actually, as we can tell, the points go to Mark Malia, SM7 category from Israel in that 2:37.3. Alex Portal does get himself that second position for France with 863 points, and it is the SM8 athlete who gets third position in 784 points. And then we see the SM14 athletes, Rhys Davis leading the way for them with 779. So we're moving on. We're getting ready for the last event now of this final session. It's gone very quickly. There's been some very exciting swimming. But we will be moving down to the opposite end of the pool for the 150 meters individual medley for those athletes in the SM1 to SM4 category. Anybody who's used to coming to Sheffield to support will have noticed that the start ends have been swapped. And again, this is due to COVID security and managing the flow of traffic around the venue. There we'll see it's the World Series final. It says men's multi-class 100 meters, 150 meters but there is actually a female swimmer as well. So Jona Molman will be out in lane 8 for the Netherlands. She is in her own race. She doesn't have to compete with the men, but rather than swim by herself, she's been put into the pool at the same time as them. So don't be alarmed when you see a few lanes in between Linda Longhorn and Jona Molman.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes of the bronze classification, 150 meter individual medley final.
We're just waiting for these athletes to start making their way onto poolside. They have to wait to get the nod from the in-venue announcer, and here we have it. It's Jona Molman of the Netherlands, the only female in this race. She will be in lane 8. She swam a world record time this morning to qualify for this final. So all eyes on her. Exciting to see what she can go this evening. Next up, it's Great Britain's Lyndon Longhorn. He broke the British record in the 100 meters freestyle this morning, choosing to opt out of that event this evening to swim this 150 individual medley. He will be going in lane 5.
In lane 4, representing Israel,
Ami Omer Dadoin back in the water now. We saw him top the points in the 100 meters freestyle here this evening. He's a European champion in this event. He will be going in lane 4. And we finished with a bang this morning. Iyad Chalabi broke his own world record by 5 seconds. He'll be swimming in the SM1 category in lane 3. So in the 150 meter individual medley, we don't swim the butterfly leg, so we can see we're starting on the backstroke there. And as I said, Iyad Chalabi is the SM1 athlete there doing that double arm backstroke in lane 3. And then the 2 athletes in the center lanes in those yellow lane lines, they are SM4 athletes, so they will be going head to head on this. And then down in lane 8 is Jona Molman, who's also an SM4 athlete, but she is female, so she will be in her own race against the clock. And we can see here Ami Omer Dadoin going very well on the backstroke. This morning, Molman led them out on the backstroke, but today she's got company this afternoon as Dadoin turns first in 50.47. Jona Molman's turned in 52.21. She's turned in 48.15 this morning. So a little down on her time, but there we can see Lyndon Longhorn as well is now on the breaststroke, as we can see Chalabi going into the final 5 meters of his first length, the backstroke. So Mollman here going very well on the breaststroke leg. She's holding on to the Doyne here as they are keeping each other company. Pretty much synchronized swimming as they come down the second half of this breaststroke leg. And Lyndon Longhorn there, work just the back of your shot, working very hard to not let them get too far ahead. Breaststroke, his least favorite stroke, but he is the British record holder in this event also. He didn't break it this morning, it stood since 2015, but he is the British record holder, so he can be chasing that time too. And here we come into this final turn, neck and neck. Hardly anything in it. I don't think Jona Mollman's time registered there when she hit her hand because that was more of her feet touching the board. But here we can see now it is the Doyne who's starting to pull away on the freestyle leg. Very different techniques, but we can see both athletes very arm dominant, the legs dragging behind them in this SM4 category. Amir only just recently got out of the 100 meters freestyle. He swam in that first of the 2 World Para Series final. But he's back as he comes into this final 5 meters. He goes 2:35.78. That's 3 seconds quicker, 2.5 seconds quicker than he went this morning. So he'll be happy with that. And Jona Mollman's time just coming up on the board now, 2:40.56, just outside the world record that she set this morning, 2:39.14. And here comes Lyndon Longhorn into the final 5 meters. He touches in a time of, we will have to wait and see, 3:05.09 for Lyndon. Pretty much the same time as he went this morning. And here we see Shalabi of Israel coming in to the final turn. He is an SM1 athlete. He's used to having to swim up against other categories. He's the world record holder in his category, but he also won a European Championship bronze medal in Dublin in 2018, racing up 2 categories in the SM3 category. And there we can see that strong left arm, that windmill style stroke, the only limb that he has to propel him down this final leg of freestyle. He swam an incredible swim this morning, dropping under 5 minutes for the first time, breaking the world record as he comes in to these final 25 meters. All eyes will be on the clock again. Again, like I said, Shalabi will be so used to swimming against the clock domestically in training, because the SM1 category is that for the most severely impaired physical disabilities athletes. And there are not too many of them. They don't get too many of their own events. So they often end up having to do time trials or pace themselves against their clock. And here we see as he comes into this final 5 meters, again, he's 4:50 at the moment. So his world record this morning was 4:57.72. Just outside this evening, 4:59.70, but under 5 minutes for the second time today. And I'm sure that if you had offered him that as a result before he entered these waters in Sheffield this weekend, he would have taken it. So we'll just wait on the official results there for this final event of today's session. And there we have the official results. And like I said, Jona Mollman was in her own race. 7,758 points is not the accurate point score, but she doesn't matter because she was by herself. But there we can see Shalabi again going 1,036 points because he's swimming against his old world record, and he's definitely under that. So another great swim for the SM1 athlete, and Amioma Dodoin getting the battle of the SM4 athletes with 775 points. Well, we've had a very exciting day one. Some great swims, some records, some qualifying times, and all athletes will just be very, very blessed and feel privileged to be able to have this opportunity to get back into a racing environment. It's important to note that everybody has done everything they can to make this event happen. Officials, volunteers, Sheffield Council, the athletes themselves, to make this a very COVID-secure bubble so that competition can happen, and moving forward, the World Para Series can continue to develop. So that brings us to the end of day one. We've still got 3 more exciting days to go. Tomorrow, the events to look forward to are the 100 meters backstroke, the 100 meters breaststroke, the 50 meters backstroke, and the 50 meters breaststroke. So we hope that you will join me and the athletes and the officials, and that's about everybody that's here, to join in the fun, watch some of your favorite athletes compete, and scream as loud as you can at this live stream. So we'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And there will again be another break in the heat session, but make sure that you're here to start the day, 9:30, and join the fun. Thank you very much.